Welcome back to the Tailosive EV podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we have EV owners on the show. Special guest star Randy, who some of you may have heard of.
You guys are the special guest. This is my show.
Oh, well, I'm glad the special guest could run it for the past couple episodes. And thank you for gracing us with your time, host of the show. We've got lots of Tesla updates to talk about today. Holy crap, the biggest Model 3 updates, I think, ever.
Yeah?
Ever. Period. Biggest. Period. Update. Period. Ever. Period.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla didn't make much of a newsroom post about it or anything, but dang, there is a lot of changes. How are you feeling, Randy?
No comment.
No, I got a lot to say.
Sigh.
I got
Big
a lot
sigh.
to say. Let me just start by saying I love my car.
Oh. Okay,
Right.
This is how we're starting this conversation. But
Screw that car.
screw that car. Okay. All right.
I tried to persuade Drew to buy my car from me.
How did that go over?
Well, I'm still a proud owner of a Model 3.
There was a pause. There was a pause.
It's just the things that are updated. Let me first say the piano black finish I think is ridiculous, but it goes with chrome, but I'm glad they got rid of chrome. But I like the covering.
Why weren't they
of
using
hiding
Internet Explorer?
Yeah.
And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, why I need to take a 2-week break from this show from time to time.
I was going to say it's because Tesla doesn't make slow cars. That's why.
True.
Oh.
That's good. That's good. So I like the design more of my Model 3, but
The old-fashioned center console, you mean?
Yeah, that whole thing is great with the
Okay.
But I like the textures more of the new one, and I like the fact that you can move dash cam into a locked glove compartment.
That
is cool.
Which I use the lock now all the time, and
Good.
so it's been re-energized to make more sense. USB-C, and most importantly, what I've always been an advocate for, longer range.
Yes. Oh, my God.
By a lot. And so we were talking about, just so we get our audience up here, we're trying to figure out where's all this range coming from so quickly.
Yeah.
Unless they've been
feels like a
holding
big
out.
range. I don't know if that's it. That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't feel right. It doesn't sound like them.
I can somewhat believe I'm seeing some software updates to Teslas go out this morning that are improving range, but not by 11%. No. Not like that substantially. Like usually you get over an update maybe 5 or 10 miles of range added, not like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like that was a huge jump. I didn't see anyone. I don't think anyone would have told you at the beginning of 2020 that the Model 3 long range by the end of the year would be exceeding 350. That used to be Model X, Model S numbers. That was not Model 3 territory when it came to range. And now it's like, oh crap, here it is.
I also feel like the idea of doing away with Chrome Delete and just doing it your own saves money too, because that does cost money.
I hope it does.
That would have saved me $1,000, and then wrapping is just wrapping. But they said that from what I can tell, the emblem is still chrome, and if you have the dual motor in the back, that's still chrome. But the doors and the windshield panels and all that stuff, all that stuff is, in my opinion, that's the most important part too. I'm okay with that being done with. I didn't see, so please correct me if you do know.
Oh, I will.
Oh, yeah, we always correct you.
Power trunk? Power trunk?
Mm-hmm.
It's listed on the website. That's from Tesla.
Drew, buy my car. Buy it. Buy it.
Well, you want to charge more than what it would cost me to buy the new one that just came out.
But you get full self-driving.
Oh. Yeah, but I can subscribe. Yeah.
Because green's your favorite color.
And about 20,000 miles. So
no,
that's true.
10,000.
10,000.
It'll have 10,000 miles on it.
Hang on, I'll tell you exactly. I have little miles on it. Thank you, COVID. 12,000 miles.
12,000. Okay. So Drew, with this purchase, you get free full self-driving, free Chrome delete.
Does that transfer if he sells it, though?
Yes.
Are we
I
sure
think so.
about that?
It follows
With
the
the
car.
Mm.
It doesn't follow the account. Otherwise, I would never buy full self-driving ever again. That doesn't make sense. It follows the car. It follows
So
the
you'd
VIN.
you'd have to end up spending $8,000 on FSD then.
I would probably wait this time around.
And that's exactly why I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, but I would wait for different reasons.
Oh, okay.
Because I drive.
You know what this makes me want? This makes me want the long-range rear-wheel drive to come out. Because imagine the range
Yes.
on a single-motor long range. If the
Push
dual motor can get
400.
350,
You don't care
I don't
about
know
that
about
stuff,
400.
Drew. You wouldn't want that. You just want to see it, but you wouldn't buy that one. You don't care about long range. I care about long
No.
range. And actually, that's exactly why I would wait for the full self-driving, too, because I drive, and you don't. Well, not in the extent that I do. I trust you drive, but
you're right, I don't drive.
I drive, and the enhanced autopilot is good enough in every regard. So I'm okay with that, or no autopilot. The thing is, I have so much fun genuinely driving the car and being in control of it. I don't like going into full self-driving, nor do I find it, useful right now, as we've, beat that one to death already. But the cosmetic changes are appreciative, but more importantly, the practical changes. Power lift. When we did the little sit
We
down,
did our collab. That was your number one request.
That was my number one quest, and there you go. Then you get everything's
I think
USB-C,
Tesla watched
everything.
your video, Drew.
Probably. Most likely.
They're listening, and I'm happy that they're listening. I'm just saddened that if I could just replace those things in my car, then I'll keep it, and I have to find a way to make that happen in a way that doesn't break my app, because I want to do everything from the app. I like the idea of popping everything. It's just a control feature for me with the app. But if I can do certain updates, and I'll even let go of USB-C, because everything's wireless charging for me. I'm indifferent about that. So I don't I don't care about the USB-C part. And I don't care about moving dash cam into my glove compartment, though it is preferred. I care about the power trunk, most importantly. I already paid for the wrap, so Chrome delete and all that stuff, that's fine.
That's all been done.
That's all done, but the power trunk is my biggest gripe. Every time I touch them, just like my dirty, disgusting peasant hands opening the trunk, I feel gross about it. So that's my real thing, because I know there's no way I can. Obviously, I want the best battery, longest range as well, but I don't. If I could just get the power trunk, then I'll keep my car, but I don't see that happening. So, Drew, buy my car.
Okay.
So
What'd you think of the changes, Nick? Was there anything you didn't like that they changed, or was there anything that you think they missed?
So herein lies my dilemma with ever buying a Tesla.
Oh, okay.
They keep getting better.
Yeah.
It's like
Seems to be the case.
we started out
The
a
more
long
you wait,
time
the
ago,
better they get.
and this was the hottest iPhone you could ever buy. And then
Yo, that's still hot. What are you talking about?
sure
Right.
for some people, but completely useless because it doesn't work. And then after
You're
a while,
useless.
this phone became the hottest iPhone you could buy. Would I use this? No, it's not working. Now this phone is also not the hottest iPhone you can buy. And do I want it? Yes. So here we are. We have the first generation step from first gen Model 3 to second gen Model 3, and I am waiting for a time where it's peaked and it's not going to get substantially better. Now,
Not gonna happen.
I know it's probably
Do you
not going
think
to
it has
happen
peaked?
for a long time, because there's so much improvement and so much room. But as soon as Randy started freaking out, I was like, yeah, I'm really thankful I didn't buy a Tesla. I am very
You're gonna get the
thankful.
same thing with the truck.
Possibly.
Don't look at a vehicle the same way you look at smartphones and tablets and stuff like that. They are
I get that,
fundamentally
Randy.
different.
I truly do get that. But at the same time, it's really hard not to, and we're just a bunch of tech junkies who love the latest and greatest. And I need to, in my heart and soul, I need to get out of that spirit of discontentment and that always needing to have the latest and greatest, which is part of the reason why I'm rocking a 3-year-old phone right now. It's an
I
experiment.
promise you.
We'll talk more about that on tech, but
Okay.
I promise you, the moment you spend $50,000+ on something, you learn to appreciate it, and you don't care what comes afterwards. Jokes aside, I love my car. I wish I had powered, trunk for all that stuff. All that aside, when you drop that kind of money, there's a big disconnect between that and an iPhone, because an iPhone is like, okay, I can eat my losses there, but once you put that type of it is an investment, but once you put that type of money into it,
it's like that's a whole year of average salary for the average American.
That is
it's like a year of your life.
that is a stupid. Even if you're somebody who makes a lot of money, that alone is still everyone can unanimously now acknowledge that that's a lot of money, and you will find appreciation in accepting, like, this is good. That good enough thing for you, you have to rationalize with yourself before ever going on to the Tesla.com and ordering. Where do you draw the line for you to say this is good enough? For me, was the fact I don't ever have to buy gas or oil change. I've still spent this much on my car, besides the wrap and stuff like that, on anything. I'm about to, for the first time, I need to go buy windshield fluid. Oh, $20, right?
Oh my God!
I've never spent any money. Okay,
you walk into that auto parts store and you tell the guy, "Hey, I need some water. What kind of car do you have?" It's a Tesla. Okay, TTS. How many cylinders does it have? 0.
I'm sorry. Cylinder? A what?
Cylindrical cells.
No, I don't I don't understand.
75 kilowatt hours.
Yeah. So, but for all I'm saying is that when it comes to that point for you, Nick, about buying a car, you'll know when it's good enough, and you're not really going to care, accepting that this is what you're going to have for a long time. Unless loopholes. Lease it then, if that's your mentality. Go for a lease.
No, thank you.
Okay, so you respect your dollar. You respect your dollar then. That's what you value more than any tech, is you respect your dollar. So
I respect the time and effort it took me to gain that dollar. The dollar itself is worthless, but the time that it took
your dollar is not. The dollar is a depreciating. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. But your dollar,
the Taylors of finance.
there's value in your dollar, and that's to my point. To equate it, I knew the Model 3 as a whole, because I was, and I still am, comparing it to the rest of the current lineup. The Model S, the Model X, and the Model Y. Looking at it now, I keep seeing it on the road now. That thing is fugly. I don't like it.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself
Y?
that. That's how you talked yourself out of it.
It was behind me. I'm like, is that an X? And then I saw the handle. I'm like, whoa, you're a fake X. You're a faker. You're a faker. So,
Randy, are you calling me fugly?
Well, I'm not calling you for dinner. That's a SpongeBob reference. I ain't calling you for dinner.
Well, I think the key here is hindsight is 2020. Because you can always wait longer.
Oh, nice ear pun. Very funny.
In hindsight, it's always easy to say, well, I mean, if anyone was waiting, now they got a much better vehicle. And if Randy decided to, for some reason, to wait 2 years, he could have got a much longer range, or he could have got the matte black trim, or the power trunk. But Randy can't always know that, because Tesla doesn't update us on these things, and we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know when the 4680 cells are being implemented. So that's the problem, is that, of course, to avoid Osborne, Tesla has to not announce and not give timelines, and they have to be sneaky with these types of launches. So when we're already here and the refresh has happened, it's very easy for us to say, oh, thank God I waited. See, this is why you should wait. But who knows when the next big refresh will be? I mean, I think this is going to be the biggest refresh for a long time.
Yeah.
This is the main reason why I plan on waiting indefinitely. I'm just never going to buy a Tesla.
So you're just going to be a fan.
It's like getting to 0 by counting down in decimals. You can never. There's always more decimals down the.
Count down by having the number every time.
Nick, if I may,
yes.
Then you'll never be happy. If people do that with relationships, people do that with the stock market. People
Randy,
decide to
a
wait.
car
Hold on.
is never gonna make me happy.
No, but
Are you
can't
telling me that a car is going to make my life happy, and if I don't have it, I'm never going to be happy? I cannot believe you, Randy. Such a consumer.
I am saying that
you are.
because if you are
Why
comparing
did
it
you
to an
invite him on the show,
iPhone,
Drew?
if you are comparing it to an iPhone, and I know how much iPhones make you happy, then I will say that there is a spark of joy. These things are meant to be in a certain caliber. It's meant to be celebrated, and if your
It
money,
is temporary.
It's all. Of course, it's temporary. But
Everything's temporary, including us.
Life is temporary. Okay, so if you wait,
Thanks for watching.
bye. See you in the next live.
Yeah.
Wrong song, Nick.
Oh,
but
you're right.
Our
Our artist hasn't made us an EV specific podcast sound.
We should fire him. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on extended paid suspension. So
Suspend you without pay. That's
oh my god, let me get this out, Nick.
no.
Okay.
People wait
That's what she
to
said.
buy. Okay, people wait to buy a Tesla like because perpetual waiting. You're gonna blink and life is behind you, and all these things of what ifs. Don't ever have a what if. I say that in a splurging aspect too. So people
Treat
want
yourself.
well, no. What I'm saying is that nobody needs a Tesla, but a lot of people want them. Guarantee most people watching the show right now want them. We want them. Heck, I want another one. It doesn't go away. You want it, so there's nothing wrong with that. But don't give yourself what ifs. What if I wait? What if I didn't wait? All these what ifs? Like, there's a million scenarios. You have to take the first step in doing something. If you just wait, you're gonna pass your life by and realize you had all these other opportunities. I make the same example like with relationships too. Well, the perfect whatever is out there. What if there's a better? There'll always be a different or a better. And if you want to find a flaw with something today, you're gonna find the flaw, saying the better one's gonna come out tomorrow. With tech, with relationships, with finances. Stock market is another one I like to use. If you keep waiting, you're never going to beat the market because it's not about beating it. You just got to get in. So I especially with the Tesla stock. Oh, I wish I would have done it back in November. Last time I checked, Tesla's not dying tomorrow. Like
No.
Everything is all about you accepting what you have today.
Yeah.
With that, I do not accept my Model 3. I want a new one. Drew, buy my car.
Oh man. No, I'm glad they made it. I think the decision was made a lot sooner than I was expecting, but I totally get why Tesla doesn't make a big deal about this type of thing. And it also makes me wonder if the upgraded cells are going to be implemented faster than we think. Just because they don't want people to all hold off and be like, okay, they're about to implement the new cell. Instead, they would rather just drop them before everyone is ready. But like, oh shoot, they're out now.
We predicted
I thought they said
that.
3 years.
We predicted watch when, but we thought it was gonna happen on Battery Day. The last 6 months, every model coming out has had the new cells. That's something I think is still gonna happen. That we're gonna say that instead of them Osborne, we don't want to say that word, but instead of having that happen, it just by the way, this is officially on record. These cars, what's different about them? And okay, it's the only way you can move inventory forward and stuff like that. Since we can't put year to which I'm glad they don't put the 2019 Model 3, the 2020 Model Y. No, just when there's an update, there's only the one. I like that. It's it's old school Apple iPhone. It's just iPhone.
Kinda. Yeah. Very
that.
old school. Not that anymore. But did you guys see that Tesla dissolved their PR department?
Yes.
I did not.
I'm a little conflicted.
Really? How are you conflicted on that?
Well, first off, I have a lot of friends in PR and marketing world, and it's kind of sad that, my favorite company will no longer for sure hire them. And it's like, what if I wanted to get into the PR marketing world and I can't anymore?
That's it. You don't.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple articles from Teslarati and The Verge who said they reached out to Tesla about some of these Model 3 changes and they couldn't get an answer, or they hadn't gotten an answer yet, because there's no one to talk to at Tesla anymore for the marketing
There's
people.
no PR.
So
you have to tweet Elon. That's how you do
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, that's the PR department.
And that's not the best use
Elon.
of Elon's time. Elon's time needs to be spent on a Neuralink downloading his brain into some
Hey,
AI.
if it's good enough for Trump, it's good enough for Elon.
I don't know about that.
Okay, people, for now on, okay, excuse me, there's going to only be one car. It's going to be the Model B.
Model me. Oh man, I could see that happening. Honestly,
I'd be happy with it. Ultimate troll. I did not know. When did that go into effect about dissolving
a
that?
couple weeks ago,
My
we didn't
goodness.
do a podcast for the past few weeks, but I saw that and I thought it was interesting because I realized that Tesla probably looks at it as not useful because butts in seats is what matters with their cars, and I think them dissolving their PR department should be evident to the short sellers out there that I don't think they have a demand problem. If they had a demand problem, why would they be dissolving public relations? There's not much of an incentive for Tesla to dissolve that if they were struggling to sell cars.
I'm telling you right now, this is actually I like it. I'll let Nick die.
Poor Nick.
I know.
I have a drinking problem.
Wow.
You do?
I
Cannot
actually
drink
like that
anymore.
they did this.
It's dangerous.
This is very. I just made that joke and I was like, oh, old school Apple. This is the dissolving the PR.
Yeah.
Old school Apple in the sense that this is by execution a very focused company.
Yeah.
And like that gets me giddy. You know?
Get it.
I am so excited because they
I'm just so excited. I'm
Yeah.
so proud to
I am
share
so
it with you
proud.
this morning.
This is something
Yeah.
that like it's easy to say out loud but hard to do in execution, and they're like, we're doing away with it because that's not the best use of our dollar, and they are putting literally their money where their mouth is and saying, no, this is where we're going to allocate our resources. You people are my marketing, us. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll do
We're
it.
PR.
And to be fair,
really love that
to
check,
all of us,
Elon. Thanks.
we have been able to become monetized because of this, based off of Tesla, our Talos of EV, the Tesla experience. This podcast has contributed to it. I'm okay with saying that. Oh, okay, if that's us talking about the thing that we are genuinely passionate about, we're not sellouts, we're not bought off. We genuinely love this stuff as fanatics, as Nick would call it. I'm okay with that. Let us be the PR because we will do so much down and dirty digging to find specifics and then make dedicated videos or episodes or anything about it in a way, and we can explain it and connect to the people better than maybe a company ever could. And
at no cost to them.
at
Because
no
Google
cost to
pays
them. And we put the bill on Google.
Yeah. So Tesla found a way to have Google pay for their PR division, essentially.
And if that's not smart business marketing, then I don't know what is.
Yeah. I hope they can be more focused on quality control as well. But quality control is a different issue because you hear about it when it's bad, but you don't hear about it when it's good. So it's kind of
It's hard to make go away.
yeah,
That's
it's
what
kind of
we
hard
are
to
for.
know. Yes.
There is
Though I
no
will say,
quality control issues with Tesla ever.
says the team that hasn't made a podcast in 2-3 weeks. But yeah, we'll let you know when it's good. But we got nothing newsworthy. We got nothing to talk about. But
did you see the report of the glass roof flying off?
No. I didn't.
Oh my God, Tesla, come on!
Oh,
I
no.
love you, but come on.
Did they not use
Seriously.
the super glue?
Yeah, they didn't use the super glue on that Model Y. I'm amazed no one was hurt, but it sounded insanely bad that someone was just driving around.
What it is, it's a convertible, Drew. It's the only Model
It's a
Y
feature.
convertible. It's a feature.
Yeah.
You're holding it wrong.
They should just leave it like that.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be upset if there's a convertible.
As Elon said, the best
I wouldn't be
process is
upset if
no
there was
process.
a convertible.
So we'll just nix the glass
I'd be
roof
upset
from
if
now
my
on.
glass roof flew off, though.
Well, the original Roadster was the only convertible we have so far.
We just got to wait for that next gen. That'll have a removable roof, technically. But I guess they were testing that on the Model Y already.
I
I'm just imagining someone looking up at the glass roof and they're like, "Whoa, that's so cool that it's all glass." And then they push up on it and then just the whole thing goes up with it and the wind takes it
The
takes it
driver's
away.
like, no, watch this. And then he hits the eject button from his James Bond movie. And the whole roof goes,
Right.
and tell me the secrets or I'll eject you out of it.
They'll fix it with a software update.
There you,
Over the air update.
That's your. I like that.
that probably
Your
will
software
be a thing.
update.
I hope that guy got a massive either credit or discount or something. Like, he probably didn't. But if that happens to you, I feel like you should get some type of "we're sorry" from Tesla. But
No.
other than that, I feel like they're really focusing on what matters. I mean, quality control is something I can see getting better as they build more factories and they build them with different techniques. Like Giga Shanghai is looking great, and I bet the quality control at Berlin will be great. Just as soon as we can retire Fremont, basically. But yeah, I'm glad they're investing in things that matter and not things that won't make that big a difference. So I'm for it. But
Unpopular opinion. I'm kind of poking around on the
hot take.
on the Model 3 build out. I've never had a problem with my what are those things called? The caps, the hubcap things for the wheels.
The
Aero
aero
wheels.
caps.
Yeah, I like mine, the one I have now, and the ones that are on here right now, the new one. I mean, they're okay, but I think I do prefer these over the performance with the updated rims that they gave them.
You don't like the Uber turbine rims?
I don't. I want my car. It reminds me it reminds me of Cybertruck in the sense that no one else is doing them like that, and it's more function based over aesthetic, and the aesthetic can be part of the branding, so to say. So I'm looking at the updates of just the rims alone, and I'm like, okay, the new one's it's all right, but I like mine. I kept mine on because I like how that looks more than if I took it off and you just saw regular rims. And the fact that I get it's more aerodynamic for me, and it saves me so much energy long term
Sure.
on it.
Yeah, efficiency.
Okay. Yeah, the efficiency is cool, but these new ones, I'm like, I mean, okay, so like when I click
I
on
like the
standard,
new ones, for the
I look
record.
at
I prefer the updated designs. I think they look sleeker. But you do you.
Really?
I do me.
I don't
me
like
every
either
night.
of the aero wheel options. I mean, if there's a gun to my head, I'd totally go Uber turbine or performance. And even the
I do
performance
dig the
ones
Uber
changed a little
turbine.
bit. I'm not a huge fan of the aero wheels.
I like
I-
the aero wheels.
I don't own the original Aero wheels, which is maybe why
You
I
could,
don't.
Drew. You could.
Lo-
I know a guy who wants to sell a Tesla. Just saying.
He's got owner's bias, I think. We have to consider that.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh,
Nah, not you.
You have investments in the old design, which makes you like them more.
so take the new aero cap. What's it called? Aero wheels, aero whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aero wheels.
Aero
Take
wheels,
that.
18-inch.
Put with the chrome delete that's now on. Put it on the midnight silver metallic. I would take that car. That's a nice looking car.
Mm,
I would
really.
probably put just a different protective coat wrap on it just for
Yeah.
protection, not aesthetic. And that is a nice looking car.
Nah,
To this day,
you're wrong.
every single day, I have people staring at me, and I kind of want to go invisible for a little bit when I get on the road.
What a rich people problem.
I know. I'm so humble, okay? Quite frankly, people, I'm so
What
humble.
people stop looking at me.
humble person.
Stop it. Stop it. Please, I'm married. Nobody cares. They're not looking at me. They're looking at the car. But cops will drive with me, but not like I'm the president where they're escorting me. No, like they're tailing me because they're admiring the look, but it feels like I'm doing something wrong. So, boom, boom, and I put it 65. Hand on 10 and 2. Here we go. And when they drive up next to me, I do the most white guy thing where I act like I'm listening to music, even when I'm listening to an audible. But what you'll see me, it'll look like this.
Right.
When Edward Snowden then hacked the CIA.
That's everyone listening to our podcast too.
Don't look at me, cops. But it's just yeah. Tell him, Nick.
So for everyone who's driving right now and listening to this show and can't see, Randy's just bobbing his head, and you need to be doing the same. We'll put down some beautiful
Nick,
beats
I got
here.
it. I got it. It goes like this. When your thumb taps the steering wheel. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So all that to say that I could do with so much attention, and I found peace in being invisible when I took, like, for example, like we took Brittany's Yaris out, and I drove it for a while. Nobody looked at me, and I felt so free. I'm like, God, I hate this car, but it feels so good. And I'm thinking, like, well, maybe my next car, but the next car would be inevitably the Cybertruck. So
that's gonna turn a few extra heads.
Yeah. So if I downsize and Fantasyland, I got a new Model 3 because Drew obviously will buy mine, then I will get a Midnight Silver Metallic, and I'll just that's good enough for me. Sometimes, remember, theme of today's episode, good enough. That's me. The interior, though, my goodness, like I
would still go with the Standard Range Plus. I think it got 263 miles of range now, and I love the chrome delete with the white contrast of the matte finish with the white pearl paint as just so good looking. I love the updated images they used on the website. The old ones looked so weird, and somehow they made the new ones look really natural. So if I had to pick one of the new 3s, that's the one I would get for sure.
In today's segment of what Tesla Drew is feeling today. Model 3 Standard Range Plus. And for once, I'd be like, that is good enough. I like that one.
Solid. You still get the power trunk, you still get the updated interior, you still get all those great benefits, and the range is even further now. Same price as before. It's awesome. I think there's not a better car you can buy for that money. Yeah. That's amazing. And I can't wait to see how the range is when they get the new cells. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
5 to 9 weeks expected delivery? Oh, heck no. Absolutely not. I got mine in a week. I demand. Let me get Elon on the phone. I will not put up with this. Absolutely not.
Get Elon on. Yeah. Call
Elon.
140. 140.
I don't have a phone number for that contact. Oops. Anyone wanna,
The difference between long range and standard range plus is 5 miles per hour difference of top speed from 140 to 145, whereas 162 is for the performance one. 3.1, 4.2, and
the 0 to 60 went down like a tenth of a second. It was 3.2 with the performance, right?
Yeah, same with the dual motor. It went from, I think, 4.4 to 4.2. Nice. So they shaved a few tenths of a second off as well. Do you think there were maybe powertrain updates? Do you think these could be more efficient motors somehow? Because the Model S performance got a range boost as well.
Ooh, that's right. Do we remember? I thought that Model
and the Model X.
That Model S and X boost came from Model 3 improvements, right?
Listen, the only thing that's noteworthy about the Model S is 69,420.
I'm so glad they did. I hope they never change that. That's my hope. I hope
I want
the
to
price
reserve
stays
one
there forever.
Just to buy into the meme. That'll be the most expensive joke I have ever.
No, the most expensive joke ever in existence was the sexy lineup.
Yes.
According to Elon, that was the most expensive joke.
They just eliminated the 7-day return policy thing. So
I am a little conflicted on that.
Don't make that joke. That'll be very expensive.
What's the
that 7-day return policy was like the Thor hammer to all of the other automakers, because it's unheard of in the auto industry to return a car. Like when I first told my dad that like a while ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, if you want to get a Tesla, you can just try it out for a week, and if you don't like it, you can just return it." And like, what?
What?
You dealerships do not give you your money back after you sign that piece of paper. that car is devalued $10,000 and it's yours.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
he's right.
So Tesla having that 7-day return policy was like the most confidence projecting. They were saying to our customers are going to love this car so much that they're not going to take us up on this very
You're
generous
gonna like the
return
way
period.
it drives. I guarantee it.
Exactly.
What is
Yeah,
it now?
And I'm sure that drove a few sales because I'm sure a couple
nothing.
people were like on the fence and they're like, yeah, let's see. Okay, I'll just pay for it cash, but I can return it. And then after the 6 days,
Well, it wasn't
they're
enough
like,
that they let you do a free test drive and they're not expecting you to order same day. The pressures of a dealership aren't there the same way.
Exactly.
By the time you do a test drive, they've already taken down your driver's license. Therefore, now they're doing a soft pull on your credit. All that's already done. So, it's the most I can never buy through a dealership ever again. It was too beautiful of an experience. What's the policy now if it's not 7 days?
there's no return
There
policy.
is no return
All sales
policy.
are final,
So
but you can call Tesla service or whatever. You can call someone and grovel for something. And there's a possibility.
I bought it in 2019, but I want this one now, please.
yeah, I was gonna say what probably they were worried about was
I
a bunch of
want-
people getting their
Just-
Model 3, and then the new one came out, so they instantly wanted to return. The last 7 days of deliveries all wanted to return their items. So I could kind of get why they don't want to do it anymore.
Do you think
and
it's
I don't
coming
think
back?
it could. I wouldn't be shocked if it came back, but honestly, I don't think
They'll
it
give
was
it
as.
quite a few months to make sure that all the people settle.
They'll bring it
down.
back quietly. They won't announce it. But I don't think. I don't think it was that big a deal, to be honest. I think most
Really?
people, if they were willing, because 7-day return isn't like a test drive. That's like you fill out the paperwork, you go through the processes of buying the car, and you have
If
to
you were
give the
loaning
money.
you have to have the loan. Yeah.
If someone's willing to do all that, I feel like they're pretty serious about buying the car anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the 7-day return window was what they were assuming they were going to do.
But in the back of their head, it was easier to buy a Tesla with that 7-day return policy because they knew.
Yeah, that's true.
If I'm 80% sold on a Tesla, and I'm pretty sure getting behind the wheel for a week will 100% sell me on this $54,000 car. But if it doesn't, I can take it back and we'll pretend like it didn't happen. And like that, I don't think many people took advantage of it because you're right, Drew. If you were loaning the money, you had to do the whole thing with your bank.
There's a lot of steps to go through to just be like,
It's not like
let me
picking up
try
an
it
iPhone.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me test it. I don't think that's what most of the 7 days were. If anything, I could see them wanting to get rid of it because the people who were utilizing the 7-day return were people who, from the get-go, intentionally were going to return it, and there was no doubt in their mind that they were just like, I want a Model 3 for the weekend for a quick road trip or for a music video, but they had full intention of
told
returning
this
it.
girl that I had the nice car, and so now I can't. Yeah.
They picked up their girl for the I could see a lot of people abusing the system. For the record. So I think that my guess is that, like I said earlier, there's no demand problem. They're not worried about people not ordering enough vehicles, so they're like,
My Tesla is done.
Wait. So from my experience, if that policy was still in effect, what does happen, what would happen, and what can still happen even with the policy gone, is the whole time Tesla is working with you. They're not working for you. They're not against you. If there's something wrong, they're going to work with you to get it fixed. I want to return the car. I'm sorry, what's going on with it? I'm not liking the pickup. Okay, but I mean, we could do a service check on it. And no, I'm not comfortable with this. There's something you can find something like they could very well, if they can identify that, well, there's nothing, obviously there's no damages. If you're not abusing it and you didn't like rig it or anything like that, I've heard they've gone as far as swapping out a model. And that's a very rare
I've
thing.
heard that.
But they will swap out a model for you. So in the
Especially
sense that,
with the quality control, people have refused delivery.
Exactly that. That's why from that get-go forward, they they're going to work with you to get something fixed. If there's something wrong, even now, if something was wrong with mine, I've been told with with these technicians, because we have service centers, here, they'll like bring it in. We'll take a look. We're gonna do everything we can to fit. And it's not something like, oh, we're gonna charge you for this time either. It's they understand you're putting money up for a car, and this is assuming you have no intention of always returning it anyway. That you're not buying a $15,000 car. You're buying something it's a lot of money, and they will do everything within their power to make the purchase right, because at that point, if you already fronted the money, yeah, it's not. They don't want to return the money. It is a business, Like, all right, well, here you go. Here's your refund. It's not like we're just refunding you. We're not refunding you $1,000 for an iPhone. We're giving you back $60,000. Like that's a lot of money. That's a salary, like you were saying, Nick. So, they will do everything within their power to make it right, and however long it takes to make it right, but they will do what they can to make it right. It is no one's intent, and especially the customer. Nobody's intent to nope, I don't want this car anymore. At the point of purchase and pickup, most people, everyone that I've talked to personally, like the mind was already set. I want the car. I don't like how this one has worked for me. All right, let's do what we got to do. So I'm sorry, you said that you felt jerkiness in the steering wheel. All right, we're going to break the car down, look at the steering wheel. They'll do everything that they can, all of which has nothing to do with the return policy. It was more of maybe a comfort blanket back when Tesla's a niche and it's going to die. It's just a fad. And this was Elon's like, I'm so confident in our product. We'll give you 7 days. It was an arbitrary number. It could have been anything. I'm so confident. I'll give you 48 hours, which is still higher than most. Most of it's you got like 1 day or something small like that.
Pretty final. Yeah.
The point he was making was we stand behind our product that much that we'll go above and beyond all these other manufacturers. But that never meant like, oh, then just turn it over and that was it. They're still going to work with you every step along the way to make sure you are a satisfied customer, because they care about that. And I believe that. I saw it personally, and then I know friends who had to go through it personally. So it's I'm okay with them doing away with the return policy, because it was never about returning the vehicle. It was about giving you the comfort to know that you are in good hands and we're going to do everything we can to take care of you. And I believe that.
You are in good hands.
Yep. Stop it.
It does. I agree with what Nick said, that it does make them look slightly less confident to remove it with the sales. But my guess is that they feel like whatever loss we might have from people not being able to return is not big enough to warrant the abuse of people that might just buy it for intentionally going to use it for 5 days and return it. Like that was always the plan. So not the end of the world, but still kind of weird, and something everyone should retweet and get around so that no one still thinks that's a thing. I hope no one buys one thinking, oh, I got 7 days to return. No, it's gone. Don't do that. Now you know.
What
now
about
you're
people
aware.
who bought a Tesla 6 days ago?
I don't know. I could see some kind of edge case where they're like, okay. Fine.
There'll always be exceptions. You can have a
Maybe.
what if about anything. What if this? What if
Sure.
that? Sure.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like this is new company policy about our product. You're not just gonna make us go through all that just so you can. I want my money back. No, it's yours now. Congratulations.
No, I want to think about a little bit, because I noticed a lot of people saying that when we talked about the $25,000 Tesla, most were saying it can't be a two-door, it can't be a coupe, because it has to be good at robo-taxi, and it's going to be a passenger car, and that means it's going to be a four-door. But that still gets me thinking how they're going to separate it from the Model 3. Like, how do they make it objectively worse? Where do they cut corners? And part of me is wondering if maybe over the next few years leading up to the launch of the $25,000 model, they just make the Model 3 similar to the most recent refresh, just so much better and better, just adding more premium features or increasing the range more substantially, so that by the time a $25,000 Tesla comes out, it feels like it sits where the Model 3 does now in terms of functionality, but the Model 3 will have improved so much that it justifies the price jump.
That's possible. I don't think the Model 2 will ever get powered trunks, but
Maybe not. No.
maybe like a few weeks ago's Model 3. But you're probably onto something there.
Maybe they skip out on things like what, like the glass roof or.
Autopilot.
No, actually, I think the glass roof will stay. Didn't Sandy Monroe say it's about the same cost?
Maybe. I'm not thinking about cost more so than just differentiating features that would make people, how do you not butcher the sales of the Model 3 if they make something
There
that
are
can
lots
do
of people.
almost the
There's
same?
lots of people out there like myself who would never consider getting a coupe. It's just.
I'm saying it's not a coupe. It likely won't be.
Oh, it won't be? Who's saying that?
Well, just most audiences are saying that because they said it will be great for robotaxi. And I don't think they would say it's great for robotaxi if it could only sit 2 people with a 2-door. Like they're saying
Most
it has to.
Ubers only have 2 people. They only really have
but
the back seat.
No, you can't. You can't have a coupe and do Uber. It's not.
No.
authorized.
But if it's driving itself, so what I'm saying is current day Ubers,
That's not
you
gonna
only have the back
happen.
seat.
That's
But
never gonna happen.
robotaxi is what we're talking about, guys.
Robotaxi's
So
never
I
gonna
know,
happen.
but I'm saying okay. I get that a lot of people, including yourself, wouldn't want a coupe. I'm saying in the situation where it isn't a coupe, because that's a chance. There's a
Okay.
chance of it still being.
You're
a
asking
4-door.
about how cutting costs, smaller frunk, smaller trunks, just not do away with something
Cybertruck.
completely, but everything would just
Ooh.
get
Cyber
smaller.
sedan.
cyber
It looks
sedan.
Do you see
ugly.
the Cyber Roadster?
Yes.
No.
I want one of those so bad.
I want more stainless steel exoskeleton stuff, but I'm still just curious, like how the Model 3 and this Model 2 or whatever coexist, like, because I'm convinced it won't be a coupe. Like people brought up good points about it being a passenger car and it not being, it being
Hey,
a
this
smaller
Cyber
sedan
Roadster
and-
looks nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All the cyber concepts are fun. I agree, but
This
I
would fit well in my Minecraft universe. Yeah.
I think they want it to be comparable to other $25,000 sedans, and I don't think they would limit it in that way. So,
So let's. What do you get in that price range? You don't get LED lights. You don't get. You don't get like defrosters in the sense like your mirrors and stuff like that. You
don't
probably get
heated
seat
seats and heated steering wheels.
You do
Yes.
get heated seats in
Really?
25. Yeah, oh yeah. My
Really?
my $18,000 Jetta had heated seats just fine.
Interesting.
So
All right.
yeah, no, that's
Did you buy
definitely a
that new?
standard. Yeah, but 2016. I mean, that was a standard then, as is CarPlay and everything else. So, but what I don't get is I don't get powered trunk. You don't get powered trunk. You don't get LED lights. You don't get the faster whatever you want to put, like, because I went to the Jetta in comparison to like an Audi, which is the same body, it's the same everything, but one's Volkswagen, the other one is Audi. So everything that comes with leather was a thing for interior. So they would probably do away with. I know it's not real leather here, but what if they
Ooh.
made a different texture?
could they do
inside?
cloth
Yeah,
seats
they could do
on the
cloth.
cheaper one?
You have to
Huh.
drag your seat and move it forward. I didn't have power
Yeah.
seating. You had to go like
It's gonna
that.
be like my Sonata with Tesla motors powering.
but
it.
with
That's
AC.
what it sounds like. Yeah.
With AC, there you go.
And if you want software features like full
clock?
self-driving or whatever, you could buy it, but it won't come with.
Yeah,
this,
they said it would
premium
it would
connectivity.
have all the hardware for full self-driving, so I don't think they'll skip out.
So that's
on
where
the
I see them
hardware.
cutting corners. Your little lights. You're not going to have the cabin floor lights like they do on airplanes and all that stuff. On the bottom, you're not going to have that stuff. So think about the off-site standard range. Okay, and imagine all the things that they took away from there, and then just dumb it down even more from there. At that point, you're going to get cloth seats. You will not have LED lights. You won't have a powered trunk.
Maybe no frunk at all.
Maybe. I mean, at that point, though, the only reason why I would say this should be is because functionality usage of it is something does exist there. You're gonna put your windshield fluids in there, but also it is wasted space, and just to not put a dent to store your stuff. I don't see that really saving you
No,
money.
but I'm imagining a different design where it's shorter, where they cut down on the length, and there wouldn't be much space there anyway.
If they did do that and they made it very compact, you would access it to fill up your windshield fluid and replace your blades or something like that. No, not in the glow plugs. No.
It'd just be like a normal car hood. You'd just open it to access maintenance stuff.
I would say it's just a small. It would be a smaller compartment overall. Something so small that you can't even like. At best, maybe an empty duffel bag will fit in there. So, like you're not putting groceries in there the same way you could do with the Model 3 right now. So
sure.
Stuff like that, I could see where they not cut corners, but they just reduce costs and stuff like that. But the problem is if the manufacturing changes too much and it becomes too drastic of it, you're not really saving money on the production line at that point, and it kind of makes it obsolete. So it has to be something that's easily adjustable, that doesn't create this whole new manufacturing process where it's like, oh, well, we're putting time into this, and, labor, and all that stuff is a thing when it comes to production. But, yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. We want to bring it to 20, 25,000. That all that stuff alone would be like, yeah, all right. The cameras might not have all the same functionalities about you wanting to view all that stuff unless you bought it anyway. But that's all software. But if the hardware's there, then they'll do the premium stereo and stuff like that with the tweeters and all that stuff. Yeah, all that's gone. So
dumbed down sound system, probably. Yeah,
just the sound bar that's on the front. That's good enough. I mean, it's a great sound bar. It's good enough. But, just little things.
I could see them getting rid of the standard range 3, maybe, in the future. If the Model 2 came out, they'd be like, that's your entry level. Because they said they want that to have close to 300-mile range with the iron phosphate battery. And that, maybe next to the Model 3, would be a little bit much. But I think since they've decided they don't want to do a standard range Y, perhaps they just keep around the dual motor and performance Model 3s, and they're the same price they are now, but they go like 400 miles.
The Model 2 will have the old Model 3 interior that with the piano black. That's what Model 2 gets you. That's how you save cost.
It's not cheaper. It's just intentionally worse.
It's just something you don't want. So that way, maybe you want to spend another $15,000.
Yeah, you get a USB-A port.
Yeah.
No, I'm very curious to see how they handle it. I think it'll be interesting. But it's an exciting future. That's going to dominate. What?
I am worried
I saw
about the Cybertruck.
I saw this.
You saw that coming from a
I did. It's been too
glad
long.
light year away.
What are you worried about, Nick?
A parsec.
Why would you be worried?
First off, I am really worried that whenever I do have the financial independence to be able to drop $80,000 on my dream Cybertruck, I'm going to really want this two-door coupe for $25,000.
You just said you'll never buy a coupe.
I wouldn't, but if it was $25,000, I mean...
Most coupes are less than that, I think.
If it's even less than that, then maybe that's even more of a reason to get a coupe. But it makes me worried about my resolve.
I don't think coupe means what you think it means, Nick.
A coupe just means I can't fit in it, which is like a 4-door, a 6-door.
I was going to say, if you had size concerns with the Model 3, you would definitely have size concerns with the Model 2.
I just remove the front seats and sit in the back seat and drive.
Let's build on this then for a second. What would a Model 2 coupe have to do for you to want to get that over a Cybertruck and save yourself?
It would have to be cheaper than News Plus from Verizon.
So free.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that would. I would get that too. If they made a free car, sure.
I would take that deal.
Absolutely.
Would you guys buy a $0 vehicle?
$15,000 or $20,000 would probably persuade me to get a Model 2.
I don't think they'll hit 20 in the next 3 years. I think they'll barely hit 25 in the next 3 to 4 years with the Model 2 because that's the bold claim they're making.
Yeah.
But as long as it goes, 200, 250, then I would say it's fairly interesting. The one thing I, even ignoring price alone, prefer about the Cybertruck is I am not someone to baby my car. I would not wrap it as Randy would. I would not even get the protective
The
ceramic
disrespect.
coating. No, I just don't care. I don't care about the outside of the car that much. I drive it around. We drive it on gravel sometimes. It gets dirty. Birds will poop on my car, and I will not wash it.
Don't be so barbaric, Andrew.
I'm just telling you how it is.
Car.
The car gets me from point A to point B in the
I think
coolest way
Sonata's
possible.
doing just
and,
fine then.
like, I genuinely will never, even if I bought a Tesla, maybe for the first month or so, I will not just sit and stare at the outside of it and admire it. Like, I am mainly going to be inside it, enjoying the interior.
You are
and
no
gonna
artist.
be using it. And I would much rather have a vehicle. I don't really care about the shape. I don't care if it's a pickup truck or not. I want a vehicle that will age wonderfully because there's no paint, so I'm not worried about paint chips. I'm not going to start crying when I get, curb rash like you did on your Model 3, and I'm not going to wash it routinely.
Low blow.
Because I'm saying it'll never be perfect. No matter how much you wrap it, no matter how much you wash it, after a year or so, you're going to notice those little imperfections.
That statement just gave me cancer.
I'm saying this because I noticed it on your Model 3, Randy. Like, it
How
looks great.
dare you?
But you get close to it, and there's the little fingerprints that have collected, and there's those few spots
Well,
where
I didn't
the wrap is
wash it
peeling.
the same day you showed up, Drew. Don't have
Well,
to
I
be a
don't- that's my
Neanderthal
point.
about it.
I don't want to have to wash it. That's my point. I would rather it get better with time. Cybertruck looks like 10 years of driving it. It'll look just as good or better because it'll have little scratches and it'll have
Listen,
wear and tear that will look
The
normal.
Millennium Falcon is an amazing piece of engineering because of its age
Yes.
and its wear and tear.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's
you wanna-
helping my argument. I agree.
But
Ah,
the
wait,
Millennium Falcon
no,
is
I'm
not the
not
Naboo
done.
starfighter. So
Hey,
But
the
when you
Millennium
look at
Falcon
the
is
Slave
the most
One that
iconic
Boba
ship.
Fett drove. Wait a minute.
drove? No, they don't drove things.
No,
in space.
Slave One. That was a
Hey, do
very
you remember
poor,
the
very poor choice of
SR-71 looking stainless steel
Never.
spacecraft from Phantom Menace, or do you
Yes.
remember the Millennium Falcon?
Yes.
Which one is more iconically Star Wars?
Millennium
The
Falcon.
original trilogy will always be more iconic. How
Of
dare
course.
you? Because that is a low blow in
No, that's
cultural
a fact.
society.
I would rather have a car that's going to age and get dinged, and
Yep.
it'll be fine, and it'll still look.
And-
No, what
know,
you
it'll
want
be
is
some
those
character.
things that those
Yes,
Ewoks,
thank you, Nick.
Ewoks, they're walking around. "Woo-dee-dee!" You want one of
And- and
I
those
don't-
things.
And what does Han Solo say as he enters the Millennium Falcon in Episode 7? We're home. Mic drop, folks. We're done. The Model 3
You've
sucks.
never been
Model
inside
2
a
sucks.
Cybertruck. You can't be
Cybertruck
Guess what?
forever because I love the Cybertruck.
My mic is louder than yours.
When Luke goes to the Millennium Falcon, he says, "What a piece of junk." And Han says, "She's got it where it counts, kid." And that's how I feel about a Tesla. I don't want to buy a vehicle with paint because I want it to age, and
Then
I
go
want
get
it.
a Ford Focus and just be done
No,
with
that has
it.
paint on it.
I
I
also
don't want an internal combustion engine.
It has paint. Ugh.
I
So
don't
my
want
point,
a car with
my
paint,
point.
but I also don't want a car that's just a sticker, Randy.
It's not just a sticker. It's a full self-driving sticker that also auto-cools my car down and pays
Jokes
my
aside,
taxes.
your vehicle looks great. It's a wonderful Tesla. I'm very
And it has
happy
it where
you
it
bought it.
counts. It has both.
And I think character-wise, it fits you perfectly. You and I are different
dramatic,
characters.
over
That's all
the
it is.
top, dramatic.
Your
polished.
vehicle fits your life and it fits your personality, and I need to find something that fits my character.
What are
and
you trying to say
personality.
about my personality?
I'm trying to say your personality is pretty and pristine and well kept and preserved and well thought and intentional, and mine is sloppy and to the point and functional but not pretty.
Oh, because
And it
my
just-
set- because my
Drew,
set
wait
looks so
too
pretty.
far.
My point is to answer the question I originally asked Nick.
I'm
I would
sorry,
be
I
far
have
more
self-love,
interested-
Drew.
Yeah, you have a lot more self-love and respect than I do.
I'm
I
gonna
am like-
pay for your therapy sessions, and we're gonna get this fixed, buddy. I'm here.
When
for you.
I have plenty of
someday,
self-loathing.
I don't know when it'll be, but when I get a Tesla, I'm going to film a bunch of B-roll shots when it's a day old, and I'm going to continue using those B-roll shots for many years, so it doesn't matter if it gets paint or poop on it from birds.
So what you're really
not
saying is you should
random
just
people.
buy a Tesla for a week and then return it.
No, that'd be. I don't even have to do that
That's what I
because I
heard.
got Randy, I've got Mike, I've got people who have Teslas that I can film easily enough.
I am not your
I'm saying-
token friend, Drew. You don't get to just be
Tesla
my
friend.
What are
friend.
you talking about? Of course you are.
Oh.
Oh, we should hang out
So
at
that's-
Randy's place this year. Enter all the
This is my-
camera equipment.
It would be
This is
fun,
my
they
long,
said.
complicated way of saying I'm not going to buy your car. This is how I'm saying it.
Okay.
Oh, and so we had to do
But-
it on the show? Okay.
Yeah.
Can just pull me to
The
the
other
side.
thing I'm trying to make a point here about is that what would make me more interested in a Model 2 than a Cybertruck is if it had the stainless steel exoskeleton, because I'm just kind of into any vehicle. You know, the more I think, I really don't need pickup trucks that often. Like, they're functional, they're useful, but I have not run into a bunch of situations where I'm like, dang, if only I had a pickup. Sure, it happens once or twice a
Cyber
year.
Model 2.
Every time I go to IKEA, that's the first thing. I wish I had a pickup.
And I don't go to IKEA that much, honestly. I'm trying to sell more and more
Where's your
stuff
nearest
around
IKEA?
here.
Los Angeles? I mean,
It's like an hour from here.
oh my.
It's not far. But either way, IKEA is kind of expensive in the first place. And I'm trying to
Okay,
sell
Walmart.
and sell more furniture. I'm not that far from a Walmart, luckily. But my
no
point
one in the
is,
United States is far from a Walmart.
that's true.
Walmart is
Even
like
people
Starbucks.
in
It's
Alaska
just
are
there.
like, yeah, we walk to Walmart. But if
In
there
our
was a
igloos.
stainless steel exoskeleton, that's my favorite part of like the Cybertruck is the fact that I could not wash it, not clean it, not wrap it, and drive it around for 5 years, and it would probably look just as good, if not better, because it'll have character to it. So if you can bring that same experience of it ages better with time, it looks great, it's durable, and you don't have to worry about wrapping and paint and chipping and rock. If you could bring that to a $25,000 vehicle, I'm kind of all in. I'm for that. I want to see a Cyber sedan.
But-
It probably won't be that, but
So
I'm just saying.
what I'm
my
hearing
dream
you say
Tesla
is you prefer functionality over cost.
No, I prefer both. I would take, if that were true, if what you said was true, I would go with the Cybertruck because it's probably more functional than the Model 2. But my
Well,
point
that's what I'm really saying, because there's not going to be a cyber coupe.
Yeah, there is.
We don't know.
I just
We don't know.
envisioned it a few
Okay,
seconds
when you
ago.
guys are 45 and on your third child, maybe. But until then, by then, like I said, if
I'm
you keep
simply
waiting, your whole
saying-
life's going to pass by you.
I've needed a pickup truck fairly few
Okay,
times
boomer.
in the past year. So if the difference between a pickup and a coupe, and they both have stainless steel and they both have an exoskeleton design, if it's $15,000 so I can have a bed and 6 seats, and also, again, I've talked about how I've driven big trucks like the F-350, and I wasn't really a fan of how complicated they were to maneuver and park, and I'm one of those robo-taxi doubters, so don't try to combat it with auto park because I don't.
Ooh.
I did a whole video explaining why I think Tesla will be fine without level 5 autonomy, and I would still buy one even if
Wait,
it
you have a
never
YouTube
got.
channel?
Yeah, I know. I've mentioned it off camera a few
Oh.
times, but
Huh.
It's the
I thought
Tesla
you
experience,
picked
right?
apples or something.
yes, I own the Tesla experience. I came up with the logo idea, so
Yeah,
I
that
think
means
that
you own
means
it.
For
I
the
own it.
last time. I'm not doing this on the air. No.
That's all I'm saying. If stainless steel exoskeleton
Looking at the
Model 2
lineup
coupe,
that you have right now, Drew, would you would pick the Cybertruck above all else then?
yes.
Okay.
If everything they announced was available, and we're not talking
I'm going to be honest
timelines.
with you. I think because we're coming up on a year of when they announced Cybertruck. In my, it's subjective, but in my opinion, I think they did it right. Over the last year, I have just.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I can't stop staring at the truck. I love this truck.
Thank you.
after
I
seeing
can't
after
stop
seeing it
either.
in person,
Let
I-
me be the person to remind everyone that
No.
I was the one who fell
No.
in love with it first. You both took a few days to warm up to it. It was love at first
but
sight.
I also
true, Nick.
said the choice was taken from me when Brittany said I'm getting the Cybertruck. It's like, okay, well then it doesn't matter what I feel. And after seeing it in person, I wholeheartedly said 180. I'm like, I went from 180, not from I don't like it, but from I don't know to like, this is cool.
I like so much of what it does. I'm gonna hold off on saying I think that would be the perfect vehicle for me because I haven't driven it, and I don't think I have a great understanding on the size, which I think could be a deal breaker, as Randy talked about a lot, how the size is going to be a difficult thing for them. And if they announce, which they've confirmed several times, but they haven't said whether or not they'll build it in the U.S., if they do a smaller Cybertruck, I would be far more interested because I don't need gargantuan F-150 size truck. But if I drive it and end up liking it and I decide that the size isn't that big a problem, then sure, I could deal with it. But frankly, it's the durability and the stainless steel design is what I'm into. If they make a version of a sedan that's like that and cheap and 25 grand, I would probably take that over the truck because I'm not in desperate need of a bed with a vault and a 6-seater. Like, it's most driving for me is me and my wife, and we barely haul things around. We've never had a cargo issue. I've realized that we've never had a problem putting stuff in our Sonata. It's never been like, oh, it's not enough room. It's always like, nope, we make it work.
That's a good assessment. Do you want to consider this is not a bait question. I gotcha. This is grow. Do you want to consider getting a vehicle that you can grow into down the road, or you are okay with making the vehicle just have to adapt to where you like? No, I want these restrictions, like a minimalist. Like I want these restrictions, therefore I have to make those choices.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I asked because my situation was we got the small Model 3, and we want a vehicle that we can grow into when it comes to children and stuff like that. And the Cybertruck, the big one. If there was a small one, we'd still go with the big one because we want a truck that we can grow into with a family at that point. And that would be the family vehicle, whereas the Model 3 would still be the small, compact. You got to get creative with the size type of a thing. So we want it both ways, but the Cybertruck was meant for us to grow into. So
I don't know if I could ever justify even 25 grand on a coupe.
Sure.
I may be a Nick in that way, that just something about a 2-door feels very unfunctional. It's like we can't even carry around 4 people if we want to. Not even that. It's
well,
like,
you
okay,
could.
there's
It's
a
just you
certain
have really
lawn.
big 2 doors.
Yeah, maybe. I guess it depends if it comes out and it is a 2-door. Maybe I would feel different. But what I'm saying on the record is if it's a 4-door, like Cybertruck designs spec, maybe that's the difference, is that it's so much cheaper than the Model 3, but it doesn't look like a car. It looks like a doorstop. And if you're willing to drive a doorstop, you can spend a lot less money. But if you want a car that looks like a car, you got to buy a Model 3. So if that's the deciding factor, I'd be like,
be a selling point for me. But yeah,
sold. Yeah, I would happily drive around a doorstop or some weird looking triangle car that looks like a piece of cheese.
Have you seen some of the EVs from the 80s? I went down this deep rabbit hole the other day. There are some
I've
really
seen a
weird
few in
80s EVs.
Old movies have had like the GM EV1.
You got me curious, Nick.
It was like an electric.
Not even. I don't remember what any of them were called, and I don't have pictures of them pulled up. But like,
the EV1 was weird.
Weird, like they still had a gas gauge and they had a little gas sign, but it was an EV car, and like,
we're doing it live.
Can you guys see me?
Can you hear him? I can hear Nick. Randy says he can't.
Can't hear him, can't see him. I can only see you, Drew.
Randy, can you hang up and come back? See if it fixes it? Go ahead, Nick.
And we're cutting this at this point. Hi.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back, Randy. All right.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, there are a bunch of really weird EVs from the 80s, and I don't have any pulled up or even the names of them.
That's okay.
But they're all like in that tan, beige, brown kind of like...
Back when that was the color.
Exactly.
Who's driving a Macintosh on wheels.
And they all have like really funny names. Do a deep dive. Just Google 80s EV. They're pretty funny.
No, I'm kind of into that kind of thing. Again, I don't really care if the design is weird or bizarre as long as it's functional. If it's weird and bizarre and it's not functional and it makes the car worse, then I don't care. But if it makes the car better and cheaper and at the same time durable, basically Cybertruck, paint more vehicles with Cybertruck brushes is what I'm saying. You know, give me the Cyber Model 3 and show me how you can save money by skipping the body panels and skipping the paint shop. How much can you shave off the price? That's what I'm into. So we'll see what happens. But
These
how about
look
you,
like
Nick? Would you
Lego prototypes?
Yeah. Nick, would you settle with a Cyber sedan if it was a 4-door?
No.
He's praying.
It would be tempting.
Man, I thought he froze again. I'm like, is that me again? Is that me?
No.
He's thinking.
Yeah, I don't think I would settle for a sedan Cybertruck or Cyber Designs Model 3 Cyber. What really appeals to me about the Cybertruck is the fact that like it looks like you can go anywhere and do anything, and you can go anywhere and do anything.
Including Mars.
Can drive it on Mars.
Including Mars, including the moon, you know.
It looks more in place on Mars.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks like straight off the movie set, which I appreciate the design aspect, and I would definitely appreciate a sedan that had that design, because that's a pretty cool design. Looks like it drove off the movie set. But at the end of the day, it's kind of a show car. And if it didn't have that pickup bed, if it couldn't actually go off-road and actually do the things that it looks like it could do, then it'd be no better than like a DeLorean, you know. It looks really cool, but not super practical. I don't know. I would probably be really tempted by it because I really love the design of the Cybertruck, but at the end of the day, I am most appealed by the fact that it can do what it looks like it can do.
So you don't need to be worried then. No need to worry.
Well, of course, I'm going to be real tempted though, because it's going to be a difference between a $45,000 or $50,000 truck and a $30,000 or $25,000.
There's a big cost savings there.
And it's going to be like, and that's what makes me worried about the Cybertruck. The end of this segment, folks.
I wouldn't be worried about the timeline. If you've been keeping up with Jeff Roberts, they are pouring foundation like no tomorrow. Holy crap, they're going fast. It's amazing.
I'm wondering if they're even letting the concrete dry, or if they're just like...
I don't think so.
We poured it, let's start building the walls.
I think they're going to put up those little... camping sunshades and just start building the Cybertruck under those.
Honestly,
like a tent,
while they're still building the roof, they're like Cybertrucks coming out of the factory as they have like blue tarps.
I love watching his videos every day. I get to see every day they do something else, and I'm like, whoa, they're adding there now. Whoa, they're adding there now. Like, it's fun. I love this because you're only going to be able to watch Giga Texas construction process pretty much once, and then it's going to be done before you know it, and it's all built out and operational, and then we got to watch the drone footage of some other factory.
How sad.
But this is a big one, so.
I used to watch the drone footage of Apple Park being built, and I was like, man.
Me too.
I remember that.
That was, with the nice music and the slow pans and stuff.
I was like, my first exposure to like actual just drone footage.
That was me going like, oh, done right. This is cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what drones are good for, those construction updates stuff. Because Jeff is killing it. He's uploading
over certain lakes.
That too. Okay. Also visuals, but just for the sake of construction updates, yeah. I like seeing like
hypothetical Mac OS La Mesa something. Something. Yeah.
Right. Well, I hope they make a Cyber sedan. If they don't, I would be heavily pushed more towards the Cybertruck just from the durability standpoint.
Yeah.
I don't want paint on my car.
That's do?
What I've decided.
You said you don't.
I don't.
Oh,
that's what I said.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I don't want paint.
Don't want paint.
Because then I got to worry about paint chips and car doors bumping into each other. I want it so that if someone opens their car door and hits my vehicle, it hurts theirs. That's what my hope is. It's like teaches them a lesson. Like,
they're
hey,
like,
watch
my
it.
door doesn't close flush anymore because it bent my aluminum body.
And if someone throws a steel ball at my window,
I want it to bounce back,
shatter,
in the head.
But not penetrate.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! That's what I'll say when I come out.
And then you just stand there, sweat beads.
Oh my God! Maybe that was a little too hard.
He goes, "Are you sure?" Yeah. Oh my God!
You sure you want to do a second one, Elon?
I hope they learn their lesson. Durability lessons.
Man, I thought we were going to see a test that battery day. That was like, don't do it. Try to break this battery cell. Please don't. And it just, everything just, it sets off a nuke or something.
Hopefully they learned. Yep. Alrighty. Final thoughts, gents, or are we done?
My final thought will be that for anybody, especially you, Nick, but for anybody who is on the fence or whatever, whenever they feel like they're waiting, don't wait. Be stupid and reckless. No, I'm just kidding. But be
Be stupid.
What
Randy
are you?
Vaz.
What are you? Be stupid. Randy Vaz, 2020. Be okay with accepting what you have now, and that's it. That's the lesson for myself. I think I'm
Exactly.
going to hold on to my car a little bit longer. Thank you, Drew.
All right, speed round. Is the GM Nikola deal going to go through, or are they going to back out?
They're going to back out.
Nikola doesn't exist anymore. The SEC is
Oh,
already
okay.
on him.
Well, their stocks plummeted when the CEO said they might not build the Badger, and the GM deal might not go through. So,
What do you think?
I'm going to guess GM's going to back out. I don't
It's
think the
almost
CEO
like-
would have said that if they were coming close to an agreement. They wouldn't have said, we have plans if it doesn't work out. That's not something you say if you're close to working out a deal.
Absolutely.
It's
All right.
almost like buying a bunch of brown bananas is a better investment than buying Nikola.
Because you could still make banana bread.
Yeah, it's true. We're about to do that. Bye, everyone. Have a good week. Catch you later.
Bye. Ba-ba.